simply because life is very general and versatile. And nobody has forever to live here. It is only God that is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. And other all omnis. Beside God Almighty, we operate in stages and in phases. And nobody can do everything at all times. So that is the foundation for the domains. So what are the domains? The domains are simply places where you dominate. What are domains? Places where you dominate. You dominate. Why do we need to dominate? It is simply because in life, you need to wield certain level of influence in your own area. So there's no need for what? Domains. If you don't have specific, unique area you have been given to cover. Mama, for example, is passionate about single mothers and all of that. You are a missionary in the field. You are a business mogul. You are interested in lifestyle and productivity, addiction, shego, and so many other stuff. We all have our unique areas. Those unique areas call for us to establish our dominance there. So, domain says, where are you capturing? Where are you futuring? And how well are you being able to future there? That's one. Number two, domains are saying, well, if you don't master it yourself, you cannot administer it to others. You should not just be the person who speaks without being able to do. In fact, domain says, do before you speak. So that people can pick the lessons from you either by catching it or by teaching it. So lessons of life domains are telling us are both taught and what? Caught. And then the third lesson about domain is simply that once you are dominating in those places, you can easily establish dominance for others. The fourth lesson about the domains is what goes around comes around. That everybody needs it. And anybody who wants to get it must follow through process. That's another thing about the 7 domains. And that the 7 domains can work anywhere, anytime, all the time, in any condition. Another lesson about the domain is that you can fix anybody who has any issue, wherever, whatever, however, whithersoever, by knowing the 7 domains. You'll be able to know, okay, this is concept problem. This is construction problem. This is classic problem. This is contribution problem. This is constituency problem. This is community problem. And then fix it. The domain shows you the good, the bad, and about an individual. The domains help you to better appreciate the value human beings place on themselves and their surrounding. The domain tells you, oh, you pray, please go beyond prayer. Look at your plans and look at the roles you are supposed to play and play it. The domain shows you where you have the gaps, the loopholes, and then the what? Vacuums, so that you can block it. The domains tells you, don't only talk it and teach it, test it, trend it in order to what? Trust it. The domains does not only ensure productivity, it also ensure and install what? Continuity. The domain tells you, if I can do it in Abuja, I can do it in America. I will get the same result. The domain tells you that life is deliberate. Life is what? Deliberate. And that you can start it as a journey and end it at a what? Destination. The domain tells you you can keep track of your flow and achieve a goal. The domains put your energies together towards a particular line of projection, so that at the end of the day, you arrive at a destination. The domains tells you you are not only standing, but you are on course. When you are not on course, you know. The domains deliver you from being stranded in the journey of life. You can say, this is where I am, this is how I come there, and this is the next place I'm supposed to be, and when I get there, these are my expectations. So life is all about the 7 domains. When we are in the church arena, we say, well, it is church on the 7th floor. Church where? On the 7th floor. For which, if you begin from the 1st floor, where are you ending in? The 7th floor. Now, can you achieve balance in the 3rd floor without the 1st and the 2nd? No. So what does that tell us about the domain? When you are working in the 7 domains, you are not only organizational, you are also positional, transactional, and transformational. You do things step by step in order to ascend to your highest achievement in life. So these are the reasons why life is about the domains. And can I summarize? Wherever the domains are working with you and for you, you dominate outside. So it is domains inside for what? Dominion outside. Chego, what is it about? Domains within for where? Dominion without. Whether in business, in marriage, in therapy, in whatever thing you are doing. Once you are able to capture your own domain, congratulations, you have just established dominion. So dominion is a result and a consequence of your capacity to achieve your what? Domains. You are dominant and not recessive, then you are good to dominate. So where do we start from if we must indeed dominate? We start from the first domain, which is foundational. The first domain is what? Foundational. Now see yourself in a building project. When you want to build Madam K, where do you start from? Foundation. Check, where do you start from? Foundation. It could be building of marriage, ministry, women, business, therapy, lifestyle, productivity. You start from where? Foundation. And the foundation is called what? Concept. Why do we call it concept? What you don't conceive for a foundation, can you just take digger and start digging anyhow? No, it must come from a what? a concept. So that's why we call it concept. So the whole concept of it is the foundation. So, coaches, when you are out there administering your solution, where do you start from? Foundation. Concept. Ask, Esther, what's the foundation of this phobia, of this habit? Everything must begin from foundation. The good, the bad, and the we are interested. Domains does not pretend. Domains does not do what? Neither does it do facade. Domain does not manipulate, it manifests. With the domains, nobody can hide. So it is called concept. And to get the holistic concept of anything in your first domain, you have to look at it on 4 energy lanes. On how many energy lanes?
4 energy.
Now, why do we call it energy lanes? Everything about life is energy. What is everything about life?
Energy.
Your capacity to sit on this chair is because of energy. My capacity to talk now is because I do some certain energies. I ate food. I'm burning calories. Your capacity to even listen to me is codified by what? Energies. And there are how many energy lanes? Basically, 4 energies. Now, are you finding synchrony in what I am building?
Yes,
So it's not theory. Just understand it and work with it. So every concept runs with 4 energies. And what is the first energy? Mental. Mental energy. Don't ever transact with people whose mind is not with you. You won't get it. We're sending you out to go and do destination marketing. We're sending you out to go and fulfill your passion. Mental energy must be involved. And then what? Physical energy. And then what? Spiritual energy. And then what? Emotional energy. Even Jesus started from there. If there's anybody who fulfilled the law of 7 domains, it was Jesus. In Luke 2:52, the Bible says, and Jesus increased in wisdom, mental, and stature, physical, and was in favor with God, spiritual, and man, emotional. So please set the foundation really for business, for therapy, for intervention, for anything, by defining the concept. Now, once you establish these 4, what is the second thing you should do in therapy? Find out, Esther, over the course you want to treat. Find out, madam, how centralized is your client at concept. By running what? Reality checks. What are you running? Reality checks. Now what are reality checks? They are psychosocial tools by which we invade into people, express them in order to
explore,
establish them. So we do 3 E's. A reality check is a psychosocial instrument that does 3 E. What is the first E? Explore into people. What's the second E?
express,
Express them. So that you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. What is the third A?
Establish.
Establish them. So that they can be their best as we minimize their weaknesses, maximize their strength, crush their what? Weaknesses, threats, and all the rest. So, when you serve reality checks at concept level, it will show us the pattern of behavior. We will see the gaps, we will see the loopholes, we will see the vacuum, up to percentages, and then we'll block it through therapy. That is the first concept. Now, what is the second concept? That is the first domain, I'm sorry. Now, when you run reality checks and the individual score 54%, for example, what does it mean, Mama? It means that the individual is 54% closer to the middle. So he's not being able to take what? Complete charge of himself. He is 54% in charge and 46% out of what? Out of control. So as therapists from Cyber Resources, we have groomed you to know how to find out this. And by the time you run the reality check, what are you going to discover in this 46 that they don't have? You are going to see a zigzag kind of life. Can you see what I drew now? And then you'll be able to say, sir, can you see what life has been with you? You'll be up and down, up and down. And usually when you get to this level, your client will break down and cry. I said, this is my life. There was a lady I handled who was fleeing from Europe. I handled her in one of the states. She said, doctor, you are the first person ever to analyze me and to be able to see exactly what is happening to me. And she was free. Why? When you show people the reality, their ability comes out for new level of what? Activity. And that is therapy. That is solution. Capacity to show people what they are going through that will release them into their original energy so that they can do what? New list of activity. When they get there, you know what happens? They change behavior by themselves. When they change behavior, you have achieved the rule of behavior modification. You invaded into them, brought them out, and rearranged them. No drugs. No drugs. Not that drugs are injurious, not that drugs are not good, but what human ought to do, no drug can do it. So that's why we advise the psychosocial world to say, hey, besides just using drug therapy, we also need what? The lifestyle behavior modification therapy. So that's the first domain. Where every human, now tell me, who is not captured by first domain? Nobody. Kings, poor, the one who is not poor, good, bad, and ugly, they need the first domain. So let's go to the second domain. Why the first domain talks about your health, how healthy you are. It can be the health of an individual, it can be the health of a family, it can be the health of an organization, it can be the health of a church. Please know this. It can be for human beings, it can be for anything. We can test it. The health of the single mom, we can test it. So where is she having problems? Is it mental, or spiritual, or emotional, or physical? It can be out of these four. All of them. Now it's like having a GP tank that is leaking in one area. You say, well, since it is just one area, some of the workers are sick. No. What happens to one, we go for the other. So that's the principle of first domain. Now this, we get our second word, domain, which is what? Construct. Now, why do we call it construct? It is only when you are healthy you can look for your strength. And what do you do? Construct with your area of strength as an individual, your area of strength as a family, your area of strength as an organization, your area of strength as a woman leader, men leader. What are we checking? What are the variables for strength? 1, abilities. 2, talents. 3, giftings. Training. Enthusiasm. Even your strategies, where you are strong. Competencies. Somebody who is in the hospital, what will he be trusting God for? Health. Now, does he look for gift on sick bed? Does he look for training? You say, I beg, forget. Make I just be okay first. So when people are healthy, the next thing they look for is what? Their strength. So anybody you want to help out of ill health, financial, material, emotional, spiritual, the next level to take them is to help them construct their strength. And then, as you did in this first one, help them discover the center by running what? Reality checks. The one you run here is called behavioral checks. The one you run here is called full comprehension check. Why do we call it full comprehension? You'll be able to know everything inside that person and around the person, and how well the person is even aware. You know, people can carry strength and they are not aware. They're not aware. So when people are not aware, they will go into what we call self-sabotage. They will underrate themselves. They will be in the midst of plenty, but doing what? Suffering and smiling. Why? They have strength they are not using. So they have potential, but no production. They carry power that is dormant. You help them discover this. They score 80, you say, wow, you are close to your vision. Now, what is the advantage of being in the center? When you take your client, they will be able to see round about their lives from the same place. But where they become lopsided, let's say your client is here, he scored 39, meaning he is 39% far away from the center, and 61% what? Close to the center. Now, look at the possibility. He will be able to see here very clearly. How about issues around his life here? Will they see? No. So when people tell you they are confused, coaches, what you should help them to find out is the level of confusion. What is the cause? Why the cause? When the cause? How the cause? 5W
1H
and what? 1H will solve any problem.
RCU
5W and 1H will solve what? Any problem. So what is the number 1W? What? What's the problem? 2, where? Location. What is definition? What is definition? Where is what? Location or situation. What again? Why? The disposition factor of it. What caused it? What again? When? Time. What again? responsible? You. Is the person. In therapy, there's nothing like pointing accusing finger. It's because I grew up from a bad home. All of us. None of our home was angelic. In fact, most of our home were much more satanic. So, and then which other were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how did it happen? And then how do you ask the person to leave? So when you are doing therapy and you know all this, you will always get resolved. Nothing will be itching on your face. So that is the second level. Now, what happened between health and strength? Construct, you use it for work. That's why we call it construct. And what do you use your strength? Where these two are found and sorted, they must always give back. They must always do what? Give back. So where you have your health, concept intact and fixed, and you have your strength, construct intact and fixed, the two of them will produce a zygote. The two of them will produce a child. It's like having a man who is newly married to a bride. After 9 months, what do you get? Baby. So, it's a result. So, strength and health gives what? A contribution. Why do we call it contribution? Because both of them contribute. You see the reason why we call it number 3 contribution. What contributed? Health and strength to deliver what? Wealth. That's why health is what? Wealth. And that's why health gives back to what? Strength. And both of them deliver what? Wealth. So, Mama, all that you are planning to do is to help those ladies find themselves, personal identity, before, on, and after the incident, recover their strength in order to generate what? Wealth. You are a business model. What do you want people to do business? How do you want them to succeed? You help them identify who they are so that they can get their composure here, and from there use their strength to make what? Contribution in creating what? Wealth. So wealth is not a donation, it is a creation. You don't donate wealth. People who have had wealth donated to them, they don't last. They soon die because the wealth will kill them. It's not coming from them. That's not to say you can't give wealth. But people who live by the wealth that is given live extraneous of themselves. And because they are not able to capture their lives from the center, they soon misbehave. So can I shock you? The reason why people who are giving wealth don't last and misbehave is simply because they are not at the center of it all. Now look at health at the center. Look at strength at the center. That's why whatever these two gives back to will automatically be where? At the center. So we can all explain this. So this is called what? Contribution. What do you do in contribution? You produce goods and services. So mommy, you produce where here? Goods and services. So life is organizational before it becomes transactional. If the organization is not there, the transaction will fail. And it's not the devil that is the cause. It's human beings.
Exactly.
Now, this is called the third domain. The first, the second, and the third. Now, see a wonder. How did we give back to this? So today's husband is living in Lagos. Wife is working in Abuja. And they are praying. Prayer is good. But there's no plan discipline with prayer and playing of role where they can come together for critical engagement, will there be a delivery? The days of angelic delivery is over. So they with one person. So through critical engagement. Now look at the rule of critical engagement between 1 and 2. And in critical engagement, how many things happen? 3 things. The first is interaction. Can you see the point of interaction? Mama, let's wait for mommy, because she needs to understand it. Critical engagement between 1 and 2 gives back to 3 things. The first is what? Interaction. Can you see? Interaction between 1 and 2 at higher points, and at what? Lower points. That talks about the emotional disposition. What do I mean by emotional disposition? Your capacity to manage these 2 energy, mental and spiritual, release it out to solve problems. So when the emotional mood is high on top, you can engage. When it is also low, you can raise such emotion up as a therapist, and you engage and still get the same result. Just like in this office now, you have several doors. You can choose to go out of it, and you can also choose to go out of here. If I say, everybody, this is the road to pass. What do? You say, okay, I hear you, doctor, you pass here. I say, okay, everybody, please throw back this road. It is that one. What will you do? I say, what have you achieved? You have successfully entered out. Get out. So that's the same rule here.